Hey, good afternoon. This is Bob from Trade Genius. It's the Halloween, 31st of October, and just really a strange day in the market. So looking at SPY, really just it didn't do anything today, and just why I just don't know. I guess it's just going to be simply news dependent. But if you look at the VIX, if I can type. It shot up again, but at the end of the day, kind of relented a little bit. Is that this is up you know 13. It's up 20% here in the last week, and obviously expected some volatility to go up going into the election, and then obviously the news on Hillary on Friday. But volatility is no higher today than it was on the high of the news for the Hillary email leak. So I'm not really sure what to make of this. Is right now it's still showing as a buy volatility, but an interesting thing that I watch too is, and I'll step out, is we're pushed through the bands here right now. And I know it's news driven; it can really fly, but you're it's probably worth taking a shot at some puts for Friday. Maybe go out of the money a little bit and see if you can catch a lottery move to see if they try to push this market up ahead of the election if they think it's going to be bad news, so some people can get out. Or you could just wait 2 weeks and see if it keeps moving higher. But for me, I'm going to buy some puts just simply every week, and if they go bust, I'll roll them until they make money, because typically when you look at UVXY and you go out on a weekly basis, is that it's very rare that you have two up weeks in a row, and so unless it's definitely news driven, and that's kind of where we are. So Brexit, will she raise rates? Did they raise rates? China, here's Brexit on this side here, raise rates here. Now we're in a situation, election here. So, at the worst, I think we push out one more week on this. Not sure how high it's going to go. But, once these roll over, these are 100% moves for options. And so it's worth, taking a shot and trying to get into a few positions. But you definitely could put 10% of your portfolio in one of these put trades and do really well for your portfolio looking at a month. And so just something to think about. It might be a little early, but I wouldn't be surprised if they sold this thing down, the volatility back down before Tuesday, and then ramp it up like Friday, Monday into the election, and then see what happens from there. Looking at my big position is SLW, and it's starting to move, and I look at it more on a hourly basis here, and it is at the top of his channel for 4 hours, and so I went ahead and sold a few calls. Basically gets a third of my position at the 24.50, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. If it's still in a buy signal mode, I'll sell 5 more, and then we'll see what happens on Wednesday. But we're still in a downtrend on it, so I just don't want to let it run free. I want to monetize as much as I can out of this before the move starts. And gold is just drifting higher. And so, I'm looking for a move into this range here, but I'm just not quite sure what's it going to do. It's not really flying, but it's definitely grinding higher. And then if you shift over to my other positions I have, is in the next 2 weeks we're going to get some pretty cold weather here in the U.S. and so I'm looking for a boil to pop again, pardon the pun. And so we're back in a full position here with boil, and just going to wait it out. If I get a lower low here, I'll probably get out and then reconnect on the next buy signal higher. But I'm pretty hopeful it's going to hold here once people start getting a sense for what's going to happen here with in mid-November in North America. And then Joe, as I've been saying, is Joe kind of hit the top of the boundary here. This is, from my view, a short-term consolidation. The right now there's tremendous drought in the Brazilian growing area. Vietnam's having a lot of problems with climate as well as Indonesia, and they're the three biggest markets. And they're also in Colombia having a big fungus issue as well as Hawaii. So I just look for coffee just to keep on moving higher. So if you want to get in, for subscribers, I'll holler at the next buy signal. But I'm in a full position here, and I'm looking for Joe at least in the mid 30s here in pretty short order. And then the other one I have that's I'm in on is JJG, and it's just climbing higher, and I just I'll keep moving in. I'm in full position. I haven't traded in and out of this at all. And then the last one I wanted to show you here, but I lost my train of thought here. Oh, most important one, oil. Is I think oil flushed out today. It's back down to, in the future, it's by the point of control. This is the whole move where we knew OPEC was going to be disciplined. OPEC isn't disciplined. And so we grinded through this, and now, with the dollar ready to roll over, I think it's going to provide support for oil. And I think people are going to look for places to hide. And they've been hiding in oil out of the stock market. So I'm looking for the dollar to roll over, gold, silver, miners, food commodities, everything's starting to move up with it, and they'll try to support the stock market that way as well. Anyways, Bob from Trade Genius. I'll be back later. I have a couple more videos I'm gonna put out, and you guys take care and catch you tomorrow.